In the last episode that you did not watch, I stealth camped on a Roman aqueduct in League City and tried to crash my bike and my body before heading out north to the Anahuac National Wildlife Refuge. I took a short break in the Anahuac watching wildlife before continuing to head east along the coast of Texas and into Louisiana. What a surprising twist of events. After relaxing for a few minutes in the Anahuac, I continued east, and a series of random turns and missed turns led me over this bridge and into the Sabine. I was trying to find the state park. I was looking to get a shower, but these series of missed turns led me down some paths that I truly do not regret and really welcome these mistakes that I really hadn't planned, and they always seem to work out well. I wound up riding down the coastline of Texas, which was quite surprising. I didn't know that there was so much coastline that was not really inhabited. Most of what I rode through this day was what I would call sawgrass, like a tall grass that typically you see around the coastal plains, and that's pretty much what I saw. I saw lots of what looked like properties with gates on them that went down long roads, and a few sparse houses like this on stilts. Everything is built on stilts in this area because it's heavily ravaged by hurricanes every year. In fact, the community that I wound up rolling into, one of the first communities in Louisiana, it's a community called Cameron that was hit in 2020 by Hurricane Laura. 33 people in the state lost their lives in 2020, and they've been hit, I think, 3 more times since then. But it looks like most of the devastation was caused by Laura over a year ago. And here I come wandering into what turns out to be a ferry. And I really love ferries, even small ones like this. I've been on a tiny one, a cable operated ferry before, rode motorcycles with some friends across it. Probably one of the smallest ferries. And I say this is the fastest ferry, the shortest ride I've ever taken on a ferry, but it's probably about the same distance as the smallest one I've taken. It just took longer on that small one because it was a cable operated. Is there no ferry?
No, this is the only one here. I'm just waiting. He'll probably put me on straight. Get him a little longer.
Oh, he waved me off. Oh, okay. I thought you were waving me off.
No, I was waving you around.
I think the main problem here was I don't speak ferry language. Whatever those hand signals she was giving, I thought it was go around or waving me off. I really never seen anything like that, but she was saying it was a circle. But I was just really excited to be on this ferry. I am a true child when it comes to ferries. Some people like trains, some people, like airplanes. I mean, I like all those too, but ferries, I could put my freaking motorcycle on ferries. And yeah, it's just one of those things for me. And I found out later this is the Cameron Ferry. They have a bunch of ferries in Louisiana because they have a bunch of water flowing through the state. If you look at a map, there's the hand signal. You see it again. I guess that means circle around. Sometimes I don't know how I get so lucky, just stumbling into stuff. I'm a sucker for ferries, in case you didn't know. And this is just a short little journey across the river. But still, I love ferries. Yeah, I didn't even know I was in Louisiana till I saw one of the signs, State Highway. No welcome to Louisiana, no leaving Texas, no nothing, just... There's a shrimp boat. I wonder if there's a shrimp boat captain on board. I also found out after riding the ferry, the Cameron Ferry, that this is it cost $1 to ride round trip on this ferry, but they only charge you one way, which explains all the cars in the parking lot back there on that side. They only charge you going back west. So I guess everybody comes to this side and doubles up, gets on the ferry, and everybody pays $0.25 to come back. I don't know. I don't know how it works, but this is the shortest ferry ride I've ever taken. Like I was saying earlier, it's about the same distance as the next shortest ferry ride, but it was a golly, it's just so weird. It's one of the oldest ferries still in operation in America. I think they've actually put it out of service now. It's in South Alabama, but it's pretty cool. I'll throw a link up. You can check that ride out. A bunch of buddies and I rode across this ferry and wound up towing a Triumph Tiger out with my bike. He put his battery in wrong. Anyway, so we're about to get to the other side, and it's really cool because you can actually see a bottlenose dolphin comes up just before we dock, and I get a couple of shots of him servicing. But yeah, it was a really cool ride. I don't know why I'm so fascinated. Don't make me explain why I get so giddy and childlike when I get to ride on the water, especially for free. And there's the dolphin coming up right about here. You see him surface one more time just before we get to the dock, and I started worrying about the little guy. I was like, "Hey man, get out of the way! We're about to squish you." There he goes. It's kind of interesting seeing dolphins in fresh water. I've seen them up in the bays before, but I've never seen them in this much fresh water. But that was my last of my dolphin that I saw, and I was so taken by all the scenery and caught up in the whole journey that I realized everybody else was unloading, and it took me a couple of minutes to get my camera put up and my gear put back on. But just about this time it started to hit me, oh hey, we're about to unload. And of course I wound up being the last one off, as usual. I also found out later that this ferry runs every 30 minutes, and it's also open 24/7. They do have maintenance days, and I'm not sure what everybody does. I guess they have to drive 100 miles or so out of the way around to the next bridge. But yeah, as soon as I got off and started wandering around, I started seeing the signs of all the hurricane damage, and it's significant. And I can't remember if it was Cameron High School, but they had a lot of new construction there, and I've never seen a high school on stilts. The city hall, everything was on stilts. It was all elevated, I don't know, 15, 20 feet maybe. But that's kind of in line with the hurricane and the storm surge. In fact, 2020 Hurricane Laura had a 17-foot storm surge, and this is all pretty much grass-covered beach if you think about it. And I didn't get a bunch of footage riding through here because I just didn't understand how profound the damage was. I mean, you go to the coast, pretty much if you go down the coast long enough, you're going to see storm damage just because hurricanes hit down here all the time. And 150-mile-an-hour winds and 17-foot water does a lot of damage. It's just kind of one of those things. But Cameron, this area was pretty badly hit. You can see a boat over there on the right. It's sitting perched up there. But started riding north and wound up in another wildlife refuge. Cameron Prairie National Wildlife Refuge. It's nice in here. And normally I might be inclined to take a bath in a little body of water like this. It's relatively easy access. But since we're in Louisiana, I've just got to assume that this is Crocodile Country. And I certainly don't want to get it by no crocodilian, so I think I'm going to keep on rolling on. Not quite that filthy yet. Hey, crocky, 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 crocky. Usually you'll see them. You'll see their two little eyes pop out like that. Maybe their nose and their eyes. They'll sit there and watch you. They love shoreline feast. We said just swim right up on the shoreline, snatch you, take you back down, roll over. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Taking a little break, seeing what's out here. I'm heading northeast. I think I may roll out to Lake Charles. I don't know that I've been through Lake Charles. I don't really know what's there, but I'm just kind of free-forming it today. I don't really have a plan. And as a result, I scored that ferry ride because I had no idea. I'm just going down the coast. I'm thinking, what was that? That was Sabine Pass National Park. I was trying to get to that. And obviously I took a wrong turn. And it worked out just fine. I went across Sabine Pass anyway. But no Sabine Pass National or State Park. That's what I was looking for. Just wasn't there. And that's the bridge I just crossed up there. Looks like the Intercoastal Waterway. Lots of barge traffic over there, so I've got to assume that's what that is. I'm about to hit back on it. Since I have my break, I probably need to get something to eat. It is almost 3 o'clock. Give me something to eat, maybe find a place to bed down for the night, as I am known to do. After leaving this swamp, I wound up riding north and east into another swamp, the Atchafalaya Swamp, and overnighted, stealth camped at a country club in the Atchafalaya Swamp. You're not going to believe what I found. If you want to see when that video comes out, make sure you hit the bell. After you hit the subscribe button, and all your dreams will come true. And I will see you in that next video.
If you vote for me, all of your wildest dreams will come true.